Council's ready? All right, everybody, welcome. Okay, so we're going to start off with oral communications number 1. So I don't have any slips. Anybody out there that want to talk about an item that's not on tonight's agenda? Don't see anybody raising their hand. Okay, so we'll move on to the next item, which is the consent calendar. So on the calendar we have approval of council minutes of October 27th, 2015. Received monthly investment report as of September 30th, 2015. Received monthly investment report as of October 31st, 2015. Item D is accept report from Community Development Director describing the measures the city has taken to alleviate the conditions that led to the adoption of the interim ordinance imposing a 45-day moratorium on establishing, operating, permitting, and/or licensing of new electronic cigarette retailer with the City of Brisbane. That is the vape shop moratorium. And then we had one more item on the consent calendar, which is adopt ordinance 602 enacting chapter 8.45 of the Brisbane Municipal Code to prohibit smoking of tobacco products and other products, including the use of e-cigarettes and smoking of vaping of medical marijuana in public places and businesses patronized by the public, and to impose certain restrictions on the distribution and sale of tobacco products and e-cigarettes, and amending Chapter 8.44 of the Brisbane Municipal Code to extend the city's existing tobacco retail permit requirements to electronic cigarette retailers. So,
motion to approve item A, B, C, D, and E.
I'd actually like to remove item A.
Okay, so Clark, you're going to remove item A.
So I'll second Terry's motion for B, C, D, and E.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, Clark.
No, I just wanted to acknowledge that there was an amended front page changing Thursday to Tuesday for the minutes. And I just want to acknowledge that. And
Okay, thank you.
with that little change, I'd like to move approval for the City Council.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, great. So, next on the agenda is staff reports.
Always just acknowledge to our county folks that, see, we get out, it's not 11:30, you guys can go have fun. Go have a holiday party.
Yes, and thank you for all your hard work and helping to educate us in regards to the hazards of smoking. Thank you. All right. So, city manager's report. Clay?
Sure. We're a long way from being done with them, too, so you'll see them again. Just to let you know that the council appointments for your subcommittees and your countywide assignments and your liaisons will be on your next agenda, which is December 17th, and we will get you out a list of the current committees as well as who's on them, probably tomorrow or Thursday at the latest.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Clay?
That's it.
Okay. Let's see. Mayor Council matters. Anybody since our last meeting on a assignment or subcommittee report? Lori?
Yeah, well, so we met, you and I, Cliff, on economic development, and we received a presentation from George Mozingo of the San Mateo County China Trade Office. And he told us about the program and asked us if we were interested in signing up for a 2-year commitment. I believe it was a financial commitment of $10,000. I can't remember if that was per year or not.
Yeah, per year.
Yeah, and we said, and only Millbrae has signed up so far. So we acknowledged that, it sounded like something that might be interesting in the future, but we weren't really in a position right now to take advantage of that organization. And so we asked them to, keep us in mind, and maybe in a year or two we can take a look at it again. And then we also, at that same meeting, talked about the Parkside pop-up workshop and some of the feedback we received, and the next steps, as you had mentioned, that I believe in January, we'll be getting some information from the consultant on taking the information from the pop-up as well as from the stakeholder meetings.
Yep, that is it. Thank you, Laura. Anybody else?
Yes.
Terry?
Last night I attended the CCAG's meeting about water issues. We don't have a name of the meeting yet, or the group, and we're not even sure of what the organization or the overreaching group will be doing, but it is, the CCAG is looking for a way to include the county and their resources for sea level rise, flood control, stormwater prevention, and pollution prevention, and water procurement and sustainability, and do that into one regional group so that it can have the authority to try to go after federal money, state money, any monies that might be available to work on sea level rise and stormwater as an integrated plan, and looking at other water districts and something like an MTC, but they haven't quite figured out if it's going to be a new agency or an existing agency under the current CCAG model. The county came up with an idea about this, Supervisor Pine,
Yes.
and it got some pushback from CCAG immediately. And so this is a subcommittee to try to look at what an organization may look like that could have the ability to do a countywide program or a regional program to be able to gather funds and information. So that was very interesting, and it's in its infancy. So I look forward to bringing back more information on that as the process evolves.
So what cities are on the subcommittee, Terry, do you recall?
Actually, because so many councils were having their reorg, it's still up in the air who is on the committee. It seems to be a fairly wide variety, and there's some city managers, some elected. Bosqua was there. So right at this point, we didn't have an agenda because it was the first night, and we didn't, because a couple people weren't there, we didn't have a list of the participants. So I couldn't give you a city-by-city rundown because of the infancy stage that we're in.
Oh, okay. Was Randy there?
No, Randy was not there.
He's the chair of Bosco. Okay.
All right, thank you for that report, Terry. I just wanted to make an announcement. So, so we had our SFO roundtable meeting last week, and so the FAA has put forth this initiative, and all you have received that information to work with the community stakeholders to try and alleviate the noise that is coming from these new RNAV procedures. So we're kind of in this process of not really knowing what the FAA is intending to collaborate with us, and so we're having a meeting at the airport on the 10th, which is this Friday, Thursday, at 9 a.m. to formulate a game plan for engagement with the FAA, not waiting for the FAA to respond to us, but rather being proactive. And so if there's anybody watching on TV that's interested and can be at the meeting, it's open to the public.
And where's that at?
It's going to be at the San Francisco Airport Noise Abatement Office at 9 a.m. Yeah, no, thank you for that, Michelle. Okay, so written communications. I don't think we have any written communications, so I think we're good there. All right, so item number C is consider setting either Tuesday, January 19th or Tuesday, January 26th as a workshop date for the community choice energy topic. So
Saturdays.
you guys got your devices, or have you already checked your calendars?
The 19th is better for me. I think on the 26th, for some reason, I have Parkside Workshop penciled in. We may have talked about that as a potential date during our Economic Development Subcommittee. And
I believe we have anything scheduled, so.
okay. But as between the two dates, for me, the first date
The 19th.
does work better.
Okay. And what time are you thinking, Clay, of?
Probably 7:30, unless you want to try to do it earlier.
It's going to be really hard for me to make those at that time.
Yeah.
You know, that's a busy day for me, Saturday. I thought we were going to do this on a Tuesday or.
Tuesday.
This is a
That is a Tuesday,
This is a Tuesday.
January 19th.
Oh, it is? Okay, I'm sorry. I was looking at December calendar.
There you go. I was too. So
7:30 p.m.
That's Saturday night at 7.
I don't think so.
I mean, yeah. So I'm available that.
Okay,
evening. That works.
either one of those I'm
There you
okay
go.
with, and so, Lori, if it's a 19th.
What
for you.
weekend?
Yeah, the 26th. I have a Parkside workshop.
Yeah. I would prefer the 19th just because the week of the 26th. Actually, no. Never mind. I can do either or.
Okay.
Sounds like-
Clay, on the 26th in my calendar, I have a Parkside workshop.
Actually, okay, wait. I need to intervene because, Sherry, the League of Cities is the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd, right? So I'm actually going to go up to Sacramento the night of the 19th, so I can beat the traffic so I don't have to go up there in the morning. So actually that day it's not going to work for me.
The 19th.
Yeah.
You don't want to get
Is
out
that
of
the
a
new
meeting and drive all
council
night?
member and mayor conference? It's
I have the conference in Sacramento and it starts at 8:30 in the morning. So I'm on the 20th. So I'm
Right.
going there on the 19th. So the 26th is okay for me.
Okay. Yeah. No, you need to attend that conference. So, John.
The Parkside workshop date was just a tentative date, so we'll work around whatever the
Okay.
council
Good.
needs.
All right. So then we'll shoot then for the 26th. That
That'd
works
be
for everybody.
awesome.
I don't know, Lori.
Yeah, I was just,
Oh.
I can make that work. My husband had a potential event that evening, but
Not
I'll bump him
anymore.
out.
Alright.
Okay,
So no, it's
I'm
fine.
good with it. Then if Lori's okay with it, then I think we're
Okay.
all right.
So we'll do the 26th at 7:30. All right. Okay. And then we need to set a date for commission and committee interviews. So you're thinking perhaps a special day to do that, Clay, a non-council meeting day?
I think
How many candidates do we have?
A lot.
So we have 4 spots on the PB&R. That's the main one.
Okay.
Planning Commission, I received 4 applications for 3 spots, but someone tonight came up who had submitted a Planning Commission application before and presumed that that application was still being considered from the last recruitment. So that's an issue we need to think through.
Okay.
So you may have more, if you decide to take those or consider those prior ones, you will have more applications for Planning Commission, although you have interviewed those prior people.
But I haven't.
You haven't, right.
Okay.
So there's
All right,
that's
so
something to
4,
think about, right.
potentially 5.
So we could have, possibly more than 4 for the 3 spots.
And nobody has applied for the other advisory groups.
No, so then you only have 2 for the open space and 2 for 2 spots and one for 2 spots in the complete street safety. So
for
it's up to you whether you want to interview or not.
I think, for me, it's still important that we interview.
Yes.
Just to get a beat on the people who are applying, whether or not they're a contested application or not. So I would think that we would want to do those. I would want to do those interviews.
No, I agree with you. I think we should as well.
So if we've got 12 to 15 people that we are interviewing, we're certainly going to need to do it as a full-on standalone meeting.
Special night. Okay.
And I think it's good to have all the interviews at one time so that if we want to consider it holistically like we did last time, in case there's, more than enough people applying for one position and then say there's space in another commission or committee and someone might be willing to move over to that one, it's good to have them all there at the same time.
You mean both the Park and Rec and Planning Commission?
Right, schedule one evening.
One day.
I think we did it last time with 15-minute increments. for all of them, and maybe it was over a 2-hour period or something like that.
And you have a lot more people than this time. So the only way I think you could do it all at one time would be to start earlier in the evening, possibly, or maybe 6 to 10 or 11.
Okay.
Or we could do the ones that are not contested separately.
Or we may have to spread it across 2 days.
Right.
Okay. When are the assignments, when do they end? Sure.
Typically, they end in January, so you could. Well, we have done interviews in January, and the people who currently sit on just sat a little bit longer until they were replaced or not. So that you could look at a January date or dates.
Okay.
If that's the case, do you want me to bring back a couple of suggestions at your meeting of December 17th as dates that you could look at ahead of time?
That would be good because it may have to be an off day from a council meeting.
I think we're going to have to.
Because the 19th is out, and that's generally a council day. We're doing the 26th, so that leaves 2 other Thursdays. One of those is the Planning Commission, so the other one was really the only open Thursday.
And one of them CCAG.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which one's CCAG?
You mean you want me to get my computer out and look right now?
Oh, no. Is it the 7th?
It would be the first Thursday, I believe.
It's the 7th. That Thursday, okay, no, we got
Yes.
Yeah.
the 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th, and the 14th and 28th are scheduled for Planning Commission meetings, John? Yes?
Thursdays are out in January.
Okay.
How about Tuesdays, possibly the 5th and the 12th?
Okay.
Are we looking at January or February?
January.
January?
Not the 5th. I won't be in town.
Oh, that's right.
12th is good for me.
Okay, it looks like the 12th.
Oh, that is not going to work for me.
Okay.
Okay, February.
Anything else in January, Sherry?
How about a Wednesday?
First Wednesdays of the month is the new water board meeting.
Second Wednesday.
And then you have you have PB&R and Complete Street Safety meeting on some of those nights. We generally try not to do meetings together like
What about Thursday? We have a meeting on the 21st?
All right. So, but you don't know if the Complete Streets and Safety Committee is going to meet on what Wednesday, though?
Okay,
First
so the
Wednesday?
6th.
Okay, so then we could meet
Park and Rec,
on the 13th.
possibly. You want to tentatively set that
13th of
Of January.
January?
yeah, although I think that might be Park and Rec.
Is it Park and Rec? Okay.
That's what I thought.
Thank you for chiming in, Stuart.
So the 20th,
I'll be away.
you'll be gone.
20.
We're gonna have to move to February.
All right, Sherry, you know what? Maybe you should
let me-
give us
February.
some options.
I'll bring you options on
Yeah.
December 17th.
Okay.
All right. Nobody plan anything for February.
All right, oral communication number 2. Michelle Salmon.
Michelle Salmon, Brisbane resident. Congratulations on being mayor. I'm hoping that in the coming year the council will start the council meetings on time and maybe even consider starting at 7 instead of 7:30 and finishing at a reasonable hour where the citizens can still participate. Like, really, there's been some excessively long meetings, and it's not fair to the public when they want to participate, and it goes well past 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight. It's just not fair. And I think that you need to set reasonable agendas, and if you have to have meetings more often or start earlier, that's great, or whatever. But meetings past 11 p.m. just are not acceptable to the public. It doesn't encourage public participation at all. So thank you. And also, Cliff, when you mentioned the park behind the library, you forgot to mention one of your biggest contributors, San Bruno Mountain Watch, who contributed plants
Yes.
and a lot of labor.
I did.
Thank you.
Thank you for recognizing that.
Well, Michelle, I'll bet you our meetings are shorter.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. I could surprise you all.
You know what, Clark? Don't jinx it, man. Don't jinx it. All right. So, can I entertain a motion to adjourn to our next?
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
Have a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.